In the meantime, shall we go live, Ian Allen?
Mm. I can introduce while you're fiddling around.
All right, Ian Allen, we are live yet again for an Oxford United football match. Tell the lovely concurrent viewers what's going on.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Oxford United live stream. Ian and Thomas with you as always. Tonight, Oxford are desperate for a win in a home game against Lincoln City. We've had two terrible games back to back against Blackpool and Northampton, and we're usually pretty crappy when we play in front of the Sky Sports cameras. So all signs are not too positive, but this is when we need Oxford United to prove to us why we love them so dearly and pull out a majestic victory, which will make us all start feeling about the playoffs again and not thinking, oh my God, we've just got to endure 9 more games before it's all over.
It is feeling that way after the last 2 matches, Ian. It is feeling very hard to motivate myself to want to watch this side.
Yeah, well, I said the biggest thing is Oxford have really got to show us something today, because I feel that myself and yourself and all the Oxford fan base are just very much down in the dumps after what we've seen in the last 2 games. And it's not a side that's shown any real fight or desire to want to be in the playoff positions. And they need to kind of show that again. And we'll get to team news in just a second. But if you're watching it on Sky, and I'm sure a lot of you are, you're going to be miles ahead of me. I'm watching it on the Sky Sports app. So that tends to be sometimes up to a minute behind watching it live on the Sky Sports channel. So we'll get to that later on when the game starts. But the big news for Oxford is the fact that Alex Goran is out with an injury. And it's not meant to be a serious one, but it's going to keep him out for a long time. But he is missing in this game, so he does leave a big hole whenever he's not playing. Hansen returns at right back. Brannigan is going to play in that holding role. A return to the side for Sykes and a return to James Henry, which is really good to see. Wide players going with Shodipo and Barker and Taylor up front. So Shodipo and Barker playing is a really good sign. You've got that those two played really well in that game against Doncaster. Sykes and Brannigan also played well in that game, and obviously Taylor did as well. So hopefully it's going to be a bit more like that performance than the other two we've seen. But Lincoln City are obviously a very strong side. They beat us very comfortably on the opening day of the season by 2-0. A very organised side with I don't know the manager. Is it?
I thought it was some bloke called Matt. Yes. Matt's in charge.
Michael Papulton, and and a lot. I mean, look at their side. The big thing is them Jorge Grant, George Grant. I'm calling him Jorge. George Grant is their big loss. He's the guy who's out for the season. But Monsma has been amazing for them at the back. And I know that, for example, even going back to the early days of the season, I think Scully got the first goal against us, and him and Anderson were really good in that game as well. So it's a strong Lincoln side who are not in good form, but not losing a lot. So you cannot expect this to be anything more than a difficult game. But we thought Doncaster would be difficult, and we blew them away. So we live in hope.
What do you think of Brannigan at CDM?
I think he's the best choice. It's not his natural position, obviously, but I think he's a guy. I think he can do any job in that midfield. He hasn't been great this season. He's been all right, and I know a lot of that's been down to the external problems he's had with his eye injury. But I think he is. I think he's the best midfielder we've got at the club, and I think you could put him in any role in midfield, and he'd do a pretty good job. So, out of all the midfielders we have, I think he's the one that's got to come in and play.
Are you happy with Henry and Sykes in the kind of creative roles? Is there someone else you'd like to see, or are you happy with the two of them there?
No, I think you've got to play them. I mean, the only other difference is, obviously, once again, Adji, despite being the best player on the pitch against Northampton, drops to the bench again, which, you would have liked to think you could have found a place for him in this starting lineup. You could have maybe even gone something a little bit different. And if you wanted to try and go along the lines of that pretty disastrous 4-2-3-1 that we went against Northampton, you could have played like 2 players in midfield and then maybe had Adji pushing to try and go up front with Taylor, but we know Robinson never plays like that, so it's not worth talking about it. But it's harsh on him, but that seems to be his lot in life for Oxford United, and the same for Sykes. He's very much a you're out the side, you're in the side, you're out the side, you're in the side. And when you're in the side, you better bloody perform, or you'll be straight out of the side again.
Rough, I believe, is the descriptive term we're talking about. Lee, is he injured, unfit? What is his situation currently?
Yeah, I think he's injured. They haven't really talked about when he's coming back, so I think he maybe came back a little bit too early and aggravated whatever injury he had, and he's out again. The good news is for Oxford is they do actually have a week off after this game.
No.
So, well, I mean, and I know that sounds silly, and you didn't say that, but they actually haven't had that week off for I don't even know when. It's been a long, maybe the start of the year, I would say, is the last time they might have had like a week off between games, which has been a nuts schedule. And that is at least win, lose or draw. At least maybe the players can kind of get away from each other for a few days.
Actually have a day off.
And that might, and actually like take 2 or 3 days off and just reset and regroup. And we might see the likes of Lee coming back. Longish should be back for the Sunderland game, I think, as well, which is a big bonus for Oxford too. But so if we can get a win in this one, and then the players can go away happy, have a few days rest, and come back, then that at least kind of gives you that hope again.
Excuse me. Right, we'd probably say
Sesame Street, isn't it? Today's special word is hope.
Well, I can't wait to hear you say skin 'em on toast or sheep mammals.
Yes,
and a series of.
Brought to you by the number 5, because that's how many goals we're going to score today.
I should probably say hi to everyone on the stream. Got quite a few comments. Manil Nigon. Manil Nigon. Anyway, he gives the XFT draw 3.25. Okay. Raymond Rickner says he hopes for a 0-0 draw because he's a Charlton supporter, so don't want either winning.
Oh, come on. At least give us 1-1. At least give us goals.
No, they want to put me to bed. They don't even want me to be paying attention.
That is so
hello
mean.
to Ryan Irving and Kit Mainston, who both said hi.
Hi, guys.
Rob Davidson says, not looking forward to the game. Fingers and toes crossed for a win. Come on, the Oxford.
Oh, I've got, by the way, that reminded me, I have got a classic Carl Robinson quote to tell you, Thomas, but I will find it in its entirety, and then
Matthew Bowden,
so you carry on.
Sorry, says, hey, come on, you yellows. Matthew Bowden of our Patreon subscribers. Thank you, Matthew, and thank you for being here. We love you dearly. Matt, I believe that's Tangerine Matt, says, don't know who to root for in this one. Tangerine Matt, yes, you do. Oxford.
You do.
Oxford.
You want to root Oxford to win. Look, you already beat us last week, and I already gave you a 1-week ban, which I'm not sure is even up yet.
I don't think it is, technically, if it's a Saturday.
Jeez, man. How did he sneak in? So at least you could do is support Oxford on this game.
Matthew of the Baudinia clan says Lincoln have loads of COVID issues, so they only have 5 subs. Pessimistic/optimistic. Brother Alan is on of our Patreon subscribers. Thank you for being here, Robert. So he agrees there's a few illness issues for Lincoln. Tangerine Matt goes on to predict a 1-1 draw. John Cobb, good evening. Oxford to scrape a 1-0 must-win game for the Yellows. SAFC. Sunderland.
Look, who enjoyed England's run chase today against India?
Like, seriously. They freaking battered one.
World champions, Thomas?
Battered
World
around.
champions? Do this stuff for fun.
Ryan Irving, Oxford fan, says Oxford United to win 2-1. Tangerine Matt says, I'll root for you, and hopefully we both take the last 2 playoff places. Yes, Tangerine Matt, that's what I'm talking about. Let's keep Pompey out of those places.
Yes.
Or
how about we pit Blackpool on the last day of the season?
I don't think he would. I do not think Tangerine Matt would take that.
Why? Well, that would be good for Oxford.
It would be, but would it be good for? Is it Tangerine, right? Tangerines? Am I getting that right? Is it Tangerine Matt?
Thomas, you are
worried.
Right? Yes. I know you were calling them the Clementines.
Clementine, she's a great lady. Robert Allen says he only has Oxford to lose 2-0. That's pretty optimistic.
That's the spirit.
Lord Lucan says hello. I've got a funny feeling about tonight's game. Hello, the Lord of Lucanism.
Lord Lucan, good to see you. He was reminding us about what he said about the only thing people are going to remember is the Oxford Swindon
To be
game
honest,
at the
I
end
don't
of the
know if the
season.
person who commented on our video asking what I bring to it actually is on here, but they can feel free to come at me.
Time to go to the Gospel of Robinson. From the man that likes teams to wear white because it makes the players look bigger. In what way? I'll leave that up to your imagination. But after Oxford's 1-0 defeat to Northampton Town, Robinson's quote: "If you're going into the lion's den, don't put meat in your pocket because you won't be walking back out."
Sorry, can you say that again?
Okay, I will say it again. If you're going into the lion's den, don't put meat in your pocket because you won't be walking back out.
Okay.
He referred to the sloppy second half Oxford started against Northampton, how we almost gifted them a goal by knowing that they would come out and trying to get a fast start after the break, basically.
Okay. And the general awful play from Oxford around that.
Just what we all wanted to hear after that defeat was a manager that's clearly lost his marbles.
But Ian, if you actually, you know what? That sounds like an Ian Allen quote. The more I think about it, the more I say it out loud, the more I hear it. Did you actually say that? Be honest. Did you say that on one of our streams?
I don't know.
We've got a good comment from Matt Bowden who goes, "You can't negotiate with a tiger when your head's in its mouth."
That's true.
Oh, wow.
Have you tried?
Tangerine Matt has laid down the gauntlet. He says, "Tell you what, if Oxford win tonight, I'll become a Patreon backer." I mean, beforehand, I was cheering for an Oxford loss because I predicted Lincoln to win. I hate Ian winning rounds, but for $3.99, yes.
At our new £1,000 a month tier.
I mean, to be fair, he does get to live with you for that price, so like it is rent as well. On that note, guys, it's in the chat. If you guys are enjoying this channel, please go over to our Patreon and support us equally. Please smash the like button. The more likes we get on this stream, the better. We're at 11. There are 19 concurrent viewers. Can we get it up to 20 magically? Is that a possibility? Can we get more likes than viewers? That would be fantastic.
Thomas, how are you getting on with getting the game up
I
on your
cannot
app?
get it up for the life of me. I'm leaving it until halftime to try it again. So it is going to be fantastic commentary from my side on this one.
So make sure you bombard the chat with comments so Thomas has stuff to do. Because there ain't a lot of other football going on
I have
around the world.
a lot to talk about.
And also as well, and I'll say again, and I've already mentioned it once, I'm watching this through the Sky Sports app on my computer, which sometimes can be up to a minute behind what you see if you're watching it live on the TV. So if you actually do want to watch it with us, I'm going to tell you exactly when the game's going to kick off. So I don't know if you want to pause it or put it back to where just before the game kicks off, and I will tell you when I have kicked off on mine, because I know I'm aware it is 7:46 and the game probably has already kicked off, but at the moment they haven't yet taken a knee.
Taken a knee yet? Are they even trying? Are they even trying? I ask you.
We're getting there. Referee's looking around. Scott Oldham is looking around. And I'm glad I'm watching this on mute because I really can't stand bloody Sky commentary of a lower league game. It's so patronising. But anyway, game started.
Before you say anything, can we?
Okay, so I've literally just kicked off on mine.
Can I quote Matt Bowden to you? Because I think this is wonderful. You can't negotiate with a tiger when your head's in its mouth.
Yeah, you just
Did I say it already?
Oh, you said it about a minute ago.
It's been a very long day, Ian. It's been a very long day. I woke up at 6 a.m.
You can't negotiate with a Hull City fan when you have your head in its mouth.
Yes.
That's what that means.
Interestingly, Jake Green says that on Sky they're saying Atkinson is Premier League quality. Yeah, apparently Robert Allen equates, by the way, Carl Robinson.
They mean Chinese soup. Shh. And with that, Atkinson's given the ball away, and he manages to recover. But that was very nearly poetic that Rob Atkinson very nearly made a mistake, led to the first goal. Barker, charging down the left, does well, but then is intercepted, but he's fouled. And Oxford have a free kick wide on the left-hand side. And get your bingo cards out, because it's the first of many times where I say, chance to load the ball into the box. Get the boys up from the back. get the ball into the box, and let's test that goalkeeper. The quality of the free kicks against Northampton I thought was pretty good, but the quality of the finishing, unfortunately, particularly everything seemed to fall to Rob Atkinson, was horrific. And I know we should have had a goal early in the game, which went over the line but wasn't given. Henry plays the ball in. It's a good one. Oh, fuck's sake. I can't believe it. Right. It's gone to Rob Atkinson, and it's just bounced off his head and gone over. But obviously you can see the wider picture, and it looked like... I'm not sure who the guy was running around the back, but it looked like the guy running around the back. If Atkinson would have left it, Ruffles would have had a much better chance. But unfortunately, everything seems to be kind of going like a magnet towards Atkinson at the moment, and he just ain't going to score.
He'll pick it up.
Like in pre-season, next season, Rob Atkinson's going to score like 5 goals in pre-season, and as soon as the season starts, he'll go back to like drawing a blank.
That's 100% what's going to happen. By the way, Robert Allen says that Carl's speech was like Cantona's without the coherence.
It was a very Cantona-esque seagulls follow the trawler moment, wasn't it? But
again, at least this makes mild sense.
Unfortunately, it was a little bit like a tree falling in the woods. There was no one around to hear it, so did it sound?
Lord Lucan asked who the shortest ever player for Oxford was, Ian. And yes, Matt Bowden came up with Gary Smart.
Was he that short? I can't remember Gary Smart. I can't remember him. He was in the team when I first started going to watch Oxford. I can't remember much about him. Mickey Lewis wasn't that tall,
Robert Allen thinks Sam Deering. He's not Mickey Lewis. He's not huge.
Sam Deering is a good shout. Sam Deering was very petite. Alfie Potter wasn't very tall either. I remember I met Alfie Potter and I was taller than him, so
I really wish
he must be pretty
these guys
small.
had stayed around you and we could get them on the channel for these games.
Who, Alfie Potter? I met him once. He came into Brook Sport and I shook him vigorously by the hand to say thank you for the goal you scored in the playoff final. Lincoln come forward, driving forward into the box, played back, chance for 1-0, 1-0 Lincoln, knife through butter, easy as you like. That was absolutely shocking defending. Scully, I'm pretty sure he scored the first goal against Oxford in the first game of the season, but that was just too easy for Lincoln City.
That is extremely rough.
Yeah, but I mean, simple ball down the line, and no one's really come out to stop the runner. And by the time they have, he's got a simple ball to play down to his left to get the winger in, who crosses it back in, and Scully has time to just take a touch and scuff it in. He's literally just scuffed it like... I can't tell you how soft he's hit that ball. It's barely had... He's about 4 yards out, and it's barely had enough pace to go in the goal. But it's gone just... It's sort of the thing, if he hit it properly, it would have been blocked, but he scuffed it, and it's just kind of gone past everybody. And it's just, that is the kind of goal you concede when you're not
It's so brutal.
I
will say that Oxford United, and very biased opinions, superfan PJ Simpson is on, has just super chatted us. Thank you very much, PJ. Thank you for being on the channel. But he says there's always next week, lads. And it already feels like there is already next week, Ian.
Look. One thing about this channel we've learned is where there's tragedy, there's trade, and we're not to do badly. It does tend to do better for our viewing figures, so that's at least one thing, Thomas. But and we're playing Sunderland next week, and that tends to be a well-watched video. So the good news, there's some good news for us, Tom, at least.
Go us.
But to say it's not the start we wanted is the biggest understatement that I've ever said in my life, and. We've already talked. Well, I talked about it on the League One predictions video. How bad Oxford are coming back from losing positions. I think we've only had 2 draws and 1 win from losing when we conceded the first goal in a game. And I think we've lost 14 games,
so rough.
which is terrible. Rough. And consequently, the other way round, the only game where we've scored first and lost is the game against those who shall not be named. So it is like a very different picture when Oxford get the first goal in the game.
Ian, say hello to Robert Mills.
So,
Robert Mills is just
hello, Robert
Mills. And says, bollocks. Hello, VBO. Was hoping for a good start, but no. Yeah. Jonathan.
Yeah. Look, it's Friday night, guys. Get the. I've not got work for 11 days now. Ha ha ha. Get the beers open, get whatever you're drinking open, because I think we're going to need it, and let's just all drown our sorrows together.
Yes. Yes. Jonathan Harris is on the channel. Hello, Jonathan. He says he's disappointed
Jonathan.
in them losing, but he says, "Are VBO admitting we want Oxford relegated?"
Well, here come Lincoln again. And they're in the box, and again, it's a bit of a last-ditch defending by Rob Axton to get it out, and that's easily gone through to Jack Stevens. But a very good start for Lincoln City so far, and I'm not going to quite go that far. I'm going to say we don't want them relegated, but we want them to just stay up on goal difference on the last game of the season.
Jake Green, I have a question for you. You say at least next year we'll be playing Sheffield Wednesday. Is that good because they're terrible? Is that what we're going with on this? Or is it because Darren Moore? No, not Darren Moore. Is it Bowyer? Is it Darren Moore?
Yeah.
Darren Moore.
No, it's Darren Moore. Don't you remember, like, Darren Moore, who said who swore a pledge of allegiance to Doncaster City for life and then sold it all in for a medium-sized bag of cash.
Money. That's all I wanted.
I couldn't even say a fistful of dollars. Taylor, right. Barker's done well again. He's won the ball back, and Taylor gets it back to him. Barker with a chance to... He's a bit crowded out down the side, but he does really well to play it inside to... And Oxford have a chance! Oh, for God's sake. Right across the face of goal, and whilst it went straight to a Lincoln player when they had that chance, Oxford goes straight across, and it misses two players in the box. But that was good play, I think, by Mark Sykes, actually, who got the ball in from Barker and nearly created a chance. But a good ball over again for Barker to run in. Is he going to get something on that? He does, but he's crowded out quite well. And Lincoln can clear. But Shadipo did well, but he's been adjudged to have fouled his man. And it's a free kick to Lincoln. But encouraging signs, good link-up play between Barker and Sykes there. And nearly a chance for Oxford to strike back. Taylor did well in the build-up as well. But we're just watching a replay of it now. I mean, Barker did really well. He was crowded out, picks a beautiful ball into Sykes. And his ball is good across goal, but it's literally just behind Taylor, just in front of Shadipo. And Lincoln can bring the ball away. And, we can just rue about being 1-0 down. We've clearly not learned lessons from the Lions.
Jake Green says Sheffield Wednesday is just something different as well. And that's true. It is something different. It's a different place to go to if you can get all the way up there. Or just come watch them. They come down here if we're allowed to go to games.
It's quite close to me, Sheffield Wednesday. That's certainly a away game I would go to.
John Cobb says, keep the faith, boys. There's plenty of time to come back. There is, John, but did you hear Ian's stark analysis of Oxford's ability to come back in football games?
And I will just say early signs as well. And it's not that Oxford have looked bad going forward at all so far, but again, the Lincoln looked very good on the ball themselves, and they look like they're going to create chances in this game. So Oxford had conceding that goal early. I'll be surprised if we can keep Lincoln to 1 from what I've seen so far. God, I didn't know. Michael Appleton used to be Oxford manager.
Who's Michael Appleton manager?
I just said.
Though?
Oh, sorry. I can't remember what I said now. Mapappleton?
Something. Yeah, we make a lot of sense here.
Michael Mapappleton.
Director?
Yes.
Watching out is Jake Green. Yeah, that would hurt. That would hurt.
I mean...
No, you just miss him. You miss him.
I don't think that's smug. I mean, it's got to be. I mean, it's not like he didn't leave Oxford on perfectly amicable terms or anything like that, or there's been any bad blood between them.
I heard he took a poo on the secretary's desk and then threw it at a wall and walked out screaming "F you, Tiger."
I think you're getting him confused with another Oxford manager called Chris Wilder.
Christopher the Wild Clan. Yeah, he was pretty violent as well. I hear he beat up a baby on his way out the door.
I know.
I mean,
I think maybe he'll be the next Sheffield Wednesday manager.
Hey, I mean, if you never know. Words.
Do you reckon that he might go that? Like they talked today about he might get the Newcastle job.
Do you think he wants it? I mean, he probably wants it.
I don't think. I think the Newcastle. It's a shame. Like, it's a great it is a great club and they got a fantastic fan base, but I get the feeling that like they wouldn't be happy with a
No,
manager
they
like
think
that.
that it should only be like Jose Mourinho's and stuff that come and
Yeah,
manage them.
they'd get the feeling that they probably look at it and think they should be getting
Yeah.
Ancelotti.
Jonathan Harris says Tom's right. I was the baby. Well played. 2M Dukes having problems with iFollow. What else is?
Oh, you're watching it on iPhone, right?
I don't think. Can you watch it on iFollow? I thought we established you couldn't.
If the game's on, I don't know if you're outside of the UK, you might be okay with it. But generally, if you're in the UK and the game's on broadcast on Sky or terrestrial television, then they don't show it on iFollow.
Apparently, pessimistic brother Alan is saying the Sheffield United owner put the boot into Wilder the other day.
Yeah, he did. He came out and said how Wilder was pretty much how they backed him and how they backed him when times were tough and how he's kind of like done nothing but complain.
I hear that he was a despot of his own tiny fiefdom and that they got rid of him.
Well, there is a little argument to be made that like, but it is a very football manager thing to like be when things are going well, it's all because of me, and when things are going badly, it's all because the club's not run very well.
I don't know. I don't honestly. He was there for so long. I kept saying if you're going to sack him, you had to sack him at the beginning of January, didn't you?
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's what they were saying. Is like they well, probably earlier than that, really. But to give yourself a chance, they probably needed, if they were going to get someone else in, they needed to pull the plug in like November. But that was the point he was making. The owner was just saying how they came and took the time to like back him and reassure him that he was the guy they wanted, regardless of what happens this season, and how. But I mean, there's two sides to a story, and they probably got Wilder tied up in a non-disclosure agreement where he can't say his side of it.
Yeah.
And they can come out and put the boot into him.
In exchange, we pay you the money we owe you. Thank you. Goodbye. By the way, guys, genuinely, there are 29 of you on here right now. If you could all please click like, and if you're enjoying this, please click subscribe because it means the world to us. But generally, just a like. We will really appreciate just a like. Ian, we're about 15 minutes in. Are Oxford doing anything?
No, they're finding it really hard. They're at least trying to maintain possession, which is something they really struggled to do against Northampton. But they're finding it really hard. Lincoln are kind of using, to use a basketball analogy, using almost like a half-court press. And as soon as Oxford like take any foot inside their half, they're like on them straight away. And Oxford are finding it very hard to create any space at the moment.
It's tough.
But that's yeah. I mean, it looks like the kind of game where unless Oxford have got to like move the ball quicker and try and get the ball out wide quicker, but they're dispossessed in midfield and Lincoln can bring it forward. And it looks like Sykes all he can do is foul his man. And he does, yeah. I mean, he did foul him. He won the ball eventually, but he was dragging him back halfway along the pitch, and Rogers wins that free kick for Lincoln. And it's a very easy game plan for them, really, to do what we thought they would do and sit off Oxford and just be able to pick them off. And unfortunately, so far, that's coming to pass because they don't need to push the game at all now.
Oxford have 6-2 possession and are a goal down. Where are they going wrong? And I believe, Ian, I can answer this question. Possession does not make goals, and Oxford cannot break through lines, don't create a lot of clear chances.
Well, it does if you're Milton
let's not get into my Milton Keynes Dons love, because we'll be here and it'll become the Milton Keynes Dons live chat, and no one needs that for 2 hours. But they also, when they fashion chances, they have a striker out of form in Taylor, and they don't give Aggie, who looked really good, chance.
Oh, right, okay. Jeez. So that was a free kick where Oxford just seemed to forget to mark, and luckily it was overhit, and the guy couldn't get on the end of it. But a lot of the sloppy, it was offside by the looks of things as well. But a lot of the poor play that Oxford had at the start of this season is really, really coming back now. Like just the stupid mistakes, and and also as well like a common thing under Robinson since he's been there is we've always been a possession-based side trying to play football, but many times when we're not playing well, it's just possession for the sake of possession, and it's not like we're like creating anything clear cut or cutting a side open.
It's been a tough 3 weeks now, Ian, would you say? About 3 weeks as an Oxford fan, it's been really up and down.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, yes, it has absolutely. I mean, it's manner of defeats as well. I mean, they're the biggest thing. If you if you go out and you put in a good performance against Blackpool and Northampton, you lose both games. You can chalk it off as one of those things. But when you play as poorly as they did, it just makes you feel that like it's not going to be. It just makes it feel like the playoffs are going to slip away, despite only being 3 points away from them at the moment. Those 3 points look a big 3
especially
points.
when you're incapable of getting 3 points, and if they can't win here, it'll be 3 losses on the bounce, which is a bit depressing.
Which is you know going towards the form they had at the start of the season, isn't it? Where they couldn't buy a win, couldn't buy a goal.
Just all over and over. Agree with that?
Yeah, I would. I mean, I don't mind it so much. Like they need to take a bit of like they were very. The way they played against again, I got play against Northampton and Blackpool, and as Lincoln come forward with Scully now, just break off, chance to get the ball into the box. It's a good ball in, comes all the way across, causes a lot of problems, but Hansen does well, just chips it up into the air, and Stevens can come and grab it, and Oxford might be able to break now with Shadipo. But I don't mind them trying to sort of like the way we play at our best is through playing football, and like it is. Unfortunately, we do really only have one way of playing, which is like we have one plan, and if that plan doesn't work, we have to just try and get better at that plan. And so we need to kind of get players a bit of time on the ball so they can try and get a bit comfortable in the game, get into the game, pick their passes. So that does need to happen. And whereas Northampton, we just seem to want to get the ball and smash it 30 yards forward, I'd rather see Oxford try and be a bit more patient with their build-up play.
It'd be really nice to see some risk and a bit of...
Right, Oxford are in the chance to shoot, just wide. Good play by Oxford. Got the ball out to Henry on the edge of the box. That's the difference of having him in the side, a capable shooter and finisher. And good play by Ruffles. He got into the area, played it into Matt Taylor, who played it back out to Henry about 20 yards out, and his shot looked like it took a slight deflection, but it's not been given, and it's gone just wide of the post. But a much better play from Oxford, and that was the slow build, like the patient build-up play that we talked about that created that chance. So hopefully it's just a matter of Oxford of finding their feet a little bit in this one, and it's going to start to hopefully improve.
Is it corner, Ian?
Sure. No, it was a goal kick. Taylor appealed for it as if it was the biggest injustice in the world, but I don't think it was.
A couple of fun comments come in. Simon Wilkinson says, "Don't feel too bad. I'm a Plymouth fan. My team's just come off a 5-game losing streak. Oxford will find their form again." And Freddie Rouse, I believe, ROUSE, which sounds like Rouse to me. He says, Oxford very much like Plymouth, on their day class, but way too much inconsistency. It must be a Scouse manager thing.
Right, Taylor wins the ball in the box, but he can't get it out of his feet. There's a good ball in, actually, and Taylor did really well to win it, but it just, instead of it going into a position where he could have just literally got a strike on goal, it kind of fumbled around his feet, and the chance was lost. But Oxford's last couple of minutes have started to look a hell of a lot brighter, which is encouraging. And yeah, I would say, I mean, we thought Oxford would be better than this season, but they have just become one of those kind of a bit mediocre League One sides. Henry with a great shot from range, and it cleared off. Oh my God, it's just not going for us. Sorry, that was terrible commentary. Henry, great shot from range, about 25 yards out. Goalkeeper Palmer, all he could do was just palm it up in the air, and he nearly made a massive hash on it. As it bounced back towards goal, and it looked like it was going to just go in, but Lewis Montsmer, I think, who is an incredible player for Lincoln, got back to make the block on the line, and it's just showing how that is not going for us of late. How those little, it was nowhere in. It was miles ahead of the line, but those little things aren't bouncing for us. It could have bounced out to Taylor, and he could have had a tap in, but it doesn't go our way. But Lincoln come forward now, striding right to the edge of the box, almost unopposed, and they get wide. And Shadipo does really well, actually, to win a great sliding challenge to win the ball. And Oxford can come away with Sykes and Henry, and Henry's giving it away. Yeah. But just sort of slid. Yeah, an inconsistent kind of mediocre League One side, like a lot of those. Like, not that that's necessarily mean it as like a horrible thing, but like sides like Plymouth, sides like Blackpool,
Don't piss off
Atkinson,
Tangerine Matt. He's on
MK
our side
Dons.
right now.
Well, I mean, not that right, but that's the thing. You where the average is like kind of you're anywhere from like just inside the playoffs to just in the lower half, because there's been times where all of those sides have been in terrible form.
No,
and
it's really tough right now. Robert Allen says creating chances at least, but you just don't feel like they're going to score, and it does feel that way with Oxford. It's
I don't know. I start to feel a bit more encouraged. I mean, it's good to see Henry's really started the game well, and it's good to see him like getting a couple of early shots off, and they're starting to like cause Lincoln some problems. So I'm not like I wouldn't say it's not like look like aimless forward play or anything like that. I'd say Oxford have definitely started to come into this game quite well, but Lincoln still do look a big threat.
MD Alleman says Oxford will win today. Come on, you yellows. What does COYY mean?
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Let's say the only time they have managed to come from a goal down to win, we were live streaming it, Tom. It was the game against Wigan Athletic, where there was a fire in the stadium. And, I forget. I know Sam Winnell scored in that game, but I can't remember who got the other goal.
Yes,
someone will put it down in the chat.
Lord Lucan says it's sad to see a great player like Henry losing it, and Jake Green agrees, saying he's lost the knack this season.
He's not had a great season. He hasn't. He usually Oxford come forward again. It looks like Jamie Hansen with a little run forward. It's a nice ball in actually, and Taylor does well. He puts it back into a good area, but Sykes just wasn't quick enough to get there, and the goalie comes out to gather. But that was good play again by Oxford. Yeah, he's not had a great season. He usually has a little exceptional patch during the season where he picks up a load of goals in a short space of time. And the big thing about last season was his partnership with Taylor, how they linked up so well, and how he created goals for Matt Taylor a lot, and that's been missing a lot this season. But I wouldn't be prepared to write him off.
Well, Ian, I am
just yet.
Has been alongside most of the rest of this team. Atkinson should be sold for spare parts. Moore is lucky to get into the team. Stevens couldn't catch a beach ball if it was
a cold.
Couldn't catch a cold. Another thing.
There we go. There are a load of has-beens or never was.
And I mean, this Hansen player.
Look, Thomas, but Oxford United have a corner, and let me just tell you, it's a chance to get the big guys.
Are they wearing white tops?
And load this ball into the box.
Oh.
No, they're in there. They're in there. Chance! Oh, come on, put it in. Someone's got to put it in, surely. And I cannot believe it. Really well worked corner. Good save by the goalkeeper. I think it was Ruffles who hit the ball across goal. Good save of the keeper, but he's palmed it right back out there. You would think it's going to go to an Oxford player to tap it in, but they seem to hit each other. They seem to kick each other.
Penalty.
And both fall over, and Lincoln are able to clear. Oxford are screaming for a penalty. Of course they were. It should have been given as a penalty, but the referee doesn't get to see that angle. He's hidden from it, and the guy's literally kicked. I think he's kicked Atkinson on the back of the leg as he's gone to finish it. But he can't. The referee can't see that.
You're almost too even at times like this, Ian. If it was me, I'd be spitting blood. I'd be spitting blood.
He gets one. If you have VAR, look, in a time where now we have VAR, you can have a lot more sympathy for lower league refs for like any incident in the penalty area, because they just have one chance to see it, and if they're not sure, they can't give it. And if a linesman's not going to help him out there, he can't see through people.
Jonathan asked, Oxford struggle to score like this every week. Jake Green says yes. I agree. Yes. Ian? Good.
Yes.
PJ Simpson asks, what do Wigan and Doncaster victories have in common?
We scored more goals than the opposition?
No, Oxford don't do that. It doesn't make any sense. Apparently Moore, by the way, got the goal against Wigan, mate.
Elliot Moore, of course it was Elliot Moore. That was why Oxford won, because he gave us more.
Ian, I'm just going to lose my microphone for 1 minute. I'm sorry. I will be right back.
Terrible. Unprofessionalism as always. What did you think then, Oxford fans?
What time?
Obviously, we're going to be clamouring for that to be a penalty, and It was the biggest stone waller ever in the history of football.
Down
just not going our way, is it? Not getting the rub of the green and that sort of things. And to make things worse, it looks like Ruffles is coming off injured.
But I'll see you in the morning.
I couldn't think of a worse player to come off injured. Yeah, he is. Amy Cranston is walking him
3 seconds
to the sideline like she's taking a, walking like herding it. I don't even know the words. She's walking him to the sidelines.
Yes, Ian, is she taking him off the pitch like they're going to put a fence up around him and then...
Anthony Ford on.
Yes.
Anthony Ford's
a perfectly serviceable defender, though. He's not been bad this season in that position,
It's a great thing that he can play in loads of different positions because he gets a lot of game time because of that. But unfortunately, he gets used as the perennial jack of all trades, master of none. And sometimes that comes across. So I don't know what Oxford are playing. I don't know whether Ford will go right back and maybe someone else will come into left back. But I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait and see. If anybody knows what Oxford are doing in that regard, let me know because I'm watching it on mute. But big blow, obviously, Oxford losing Ruffles. I mean, he is in many ways Mr. Oxford United. But Oxford come forward again. Shadipo into the box. And again, a bit of a mess up by the keeper and the defender. But they managed to squirm it behind for a corner. But Oxford are really in the ascendancy now, looking really good. Henry having a really good game. Him and Sykes combine well on the edge of the box. He plays in Shadipo, whose crosses just about dealt with by Lincoln, but Oxford have a bit of a head of steam here.
Ian.
They have a corner. Wait.
Good things are coming.
They have a corner, Thomas. Oxford have a corner, and as you know from a corner, it's a chance to get the big guys up from the back, and it's a chance to load the ball into the box. It's a corner. Let's see what happens. It's headed down. Can Oxford get this chance away? It's come to Taylor. It's come, and it's in! Oh, yeah! They've scored! Anthony Ford! I cannot believe you slagged him off so much, Thomas, to say he shouldn't be on the pitch. I can't believe you said that Robinson needs to concentrate on his main position and not just use him as a bits and pieces player. He's proved you wrong there. He's proved everybody wrong in the chat. Anthony Ford, great utility player. A little bit like a renaissance man for this Oxford side. And finally, Oxford do get the goal that they've deserved it. Jokes aside, they've deserved it. They've been the better side for the last 10, 15 minutes of this game, I would say. If you're looking at VAR, there's a possible handball by Matt Taylor there, but we won't say that one. But I think that's his first goal of the season, and
I say one good thing about him: you spend 5 minutes slagging me off, and he scores. But
look. All I'm going to say is we haven't had a chance to say this for a while, but Oxford come forward again. At least I know now there's not going to be a goal because you know how to ruin it for me. But Oxford come forward again, and we haven't had a chance to say this for quite a long time on this channel because of Oxford just don't seem to score on these live streams. But as the usual rule is, it is £50 a super chat for every Oxford goal. And I will say we do have a
$3.99 option on Patreon, guys. So if you'd rather not super chat us and you'd rather just sign up once a month to pay us $3.99, we will take it in a heartbeat. Also, thank you all for being on, and a lot of people seem to be on my side in the chat for once. So take that, Alan. Take it. Good question.
What did I do wrong?
All of a sudden the doom and gloom has been lifted, Ian. It's lifted.
Oh my god! Literally, honestly. If we're not an absolute shoe-in for promotion now, I don't know when we're
Superfan and Patreon backer Robert Allen has super chatted us. He is so excited. He can't help it. He can't help it.
In that case, literally, you don't know. If he's super chatting, then there's no excuse for anyone because he is literally a struggling, performing mime artist.
Be a mime artist anymore. So, it's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah. Which makes you think, what
Robert Allen, you saint. Or maybe you're not, but we love you anyway.
And let me just say as well, let's get this Lincoln attack out of the way before I start losing the plot here. Lincoln come forward. They've still got the ball. They're in the box. It looks like Sykes is going to crowd Scully out here, and he does a pretty good job. But Lincoln win the throw-in. A very serviceable co-host.
What, Robert Allen? I know, he's taken over full time for me, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, no, he has. He took over in an hour of need. And I'll say he did a very serviceable
job. I keep
job.
getting mail about how I need to be out and he needs to be in. Marley Gibson says, get in. He'd keep Sunderland third. He's happy about that. Robert Allen points out that we've got 20 likes.
Look, stop thinking about your own clubs and start thinking about my club. You
or super chat us about your club, in which case
clubs.
we will take whatever you have to say. Oh, man.
Look, we got Sunderland next week, and it would be look. Sunderland don't need the win in that game.
Yeah, just
so the
roll
least you
over
can do is lie down.
Let us just have it.
You roll over. God knows how many teams you do roll over for in a season, but against us, no.
I mean, they are the masters of the 1-1 draw. Maybe you'll get a 1-1 draw out of it, Ian.
Well, the last 2 times we have gone to the Stadion de Lis, it has been a 1-1 draw.
It's pronounced Leet.
Isn't that Benfica's
like delight?
Ground?
It's delete.
I think Benfica's ground's called Stadium of Light, isn't it? But it sounds like really nice in Portuguese. Something like that, yeah. And then,
Robert Allen says that he's the Anthony Ford to my Josh Ruffles. On that note, that injury is killing me right now.
Cross into the box, headed by Atkinson. Can Oxford get this second goal? They're playing really well now, actually. I must say, they've got a real spring in their step. Beware the wounded animal. Have Oxford just walked into the lion's den here? Or is it Lincoln who themselves have come into the den and bought food which should not be consumed in the lion's den and therefore will struggle to come out of the
Throw that chum out your pocket before you get in there, boy. Don't do that. Oh, God. Who's the lion? Who is the lion in this? Good. Jake Green says Sunderland just need an L next game. Just have a rest. Crap.
Literally, it won't affect your promotion push at all, but it will really help ours. So why would you? Why wouldn't you do
Brown
that?
says go Oxford. The mood has lifted insanely since that goal went in. Like you can feel it on the chat. You can feel it with you, mate.
I'll tell you one thing as well. I tell you. I've had it a bit like Kevin Keegan. I tell you, I would love
it if we beat Lincoln.
If I said about the one thing is Oxford need to show a bit of a performance today, and so far, after going a goal down, they have actually started to play really well in this game. For us, and I know it's still only 30 minutes gone, but they are looking at it's light years better than what we've seen in the previous
Matthew Baldinia says, "Oh my God,
great ball in! Oh, that was a great chance! Oh, what a good chance by Henry." And he's put that one wide. It looks like he's offside, though, so he must have known he was
Apparently,
offside.
Sky are highlighting the handball. Everyone is going, oh my God, over that chance. But Jonathan Harris asked, what is the Lincoln logo? It looks like a troll to me. But Ian, if I'm not mistaken, it's an imp.
I'm just going to say it does look like Matt Taylor has handballed that. But by the same token, is Oxford should have had a penalty. We're due a bit of luck in that
like a general.
And the Lincoln logo is an imp, and that is why they're called an imp. And it is an old, and I only know this because I live up in Lincoln, and it is an old story about 3 imps coming to the Lincoln Cathedral donkeys years ago, and them exercising the imps, but one of them stayed behind.
Did they just kill 2 cripples or just height challenged human beings?
No. That's the folklore of it. That's why the imp is the town logo and emblem, if you like.
So I thank the family Allen for keeping this channel going.
It's pocket. The family Allen does keep the channel open. Like the family Pickering does nothing.
Where
but
are the family
try and
Pickering?
take this channel down.
Asking that question.
Your brother and mother's campaign to get us banned from YouTube.
It doesn't seem fair that they teamed up with Stewie Dykes as well, and they just down thumb everything we do. Like between the 3 of them, we stand no chance. No one knows who that is, but you know who that is, and I know it made you laugh.
I do. I don't think people are quite as familiar with the world famous Breton Cafe.
They do a hell of a. Jake Green.
Change to our menu this year. We're now serving tap water with ice.
Jake Green says exactly what goes around comes around. That should have been a pen.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, it has felt recently in Oxford games like there's almost been a pen a game that on even your first replay, you're like, well, that's a definite pen. And they just haven't gotten it. And they haven't gotten it for ages.
No, we haven't had a penalty for a long time in a game. Well, we did in the Papa John's World Championships, which I think footballing world is still cursing us for Matt Taylor's abortion of a penalty on that day.
The terminology here is loose at the best of times. Simon Wilkinson says we're the... Sorry?
You know what penalty means?
No.
You don't know what penalty means? I don't know what this
sport is. I'm only here because you said I need someone to take the flak when I make a mistake. You still say things like skin on toast, and I'm the one they want off the channel. I don't get
it. What about the Lions?
Who is in the Lions Den, though? I need to know. If this ends as a draw, does his quote is it completely nullified? How does it work?
At the moment, as a long ball comes forward, Taylor does well, or like Henry did well, but he couldn't get the ball back to Taylor. At the moment, Lincoln are definitely in the Lions' Den, but they are. I don't think they. No. Sykes cannot score this season, can he? Has a long-range shot, which just goes over the bar. Him and Brannigan just don't seem to have their shooting boots on at all this season. Again, another good chance created by Oxford, though. But no, Lincoln are in the Lions' Den at the moment. I'm not sure that they've. I'm not sure they're. I can't use an analogy. They're in the Lions' Den at the moment.
Is there food in their pocket, though? Or is it like a?
There must have been.
Is it
obviously Oxford scored, but I'm not sure if there's any.
Is it a Snickers bar because it's wrapped? The tiger can't quite smell it, so it's like, well, I think something's in here, but I'm not 100%. Oh, but look, a human.
What's the tiger doing in the Lions' Den?
I've been up way
They're in the
long.
Oxen's Den. So they've clearly bought like a bit of grass.
I have to agree with Jonathan Harris. He says he can't wait for Wickham to be in the Papa John's World Championships again, and neither can I. Jonathan, it's going to be fantastic having you back in them.
Well, as we said, they've made big changes to it next season. Remember, every round's three-legged. Home, away, and neutral venue.
Oxford versus Accrington Stanley, being played in Aberystwyth.
Plymouth.
Yeah,
Aberystwyth.
I really used to say Aberystwyth, and then think about how it's spelled and realize that this country's nuts with its spelling. Jake Reed agrees that Sykes has no shot on him. It's weird that Taylor was such an answer to the striking problems last year and from multiple times this year, and how important it is that he's on form. And when he's not on form, it is the Oxford that almost got relegated 2 seasons ago, where you're just like, what?
No, yeah, exactly right. There's not many other goals in the side. I'm trying to think obviously Henry scored goals quite a bit last season, and then not Jordan Graham. I'm trying to think of his name.
Yeah.
Marcus Brown. He obviously came in and had a really good second half to the season. There was Fosu in the first part of the season.
2 years ago,
quite a few goals. And yeah. I mean, obviously, and then you did have players. I mean, Brannigan scored some goals last season. Baptiste obviously scored some goals. Did Dickey
score?
And we did see more of a threat coming through midfield. I don't think Dickey scored too many. No, I don't think we got too many goals from. Really didn't get too many goals from the centre backs last season. We got some goals from Ruffles and Long. Mainly more Ruffles, but we didn't get too much from defence.
Says that I am drunk on 8 baby shams, and I couldn't drink 8 baby shams if I tried.
I like that.
So, I mean, it's 4, just so you know, and I'm absolutely hammered. Jake Green, I would love an espresso martini. Please drop one by.
I've been on the slippery nipples myself.
You want to make a comment about porn star martinis?
Oh, it's a perfectly cromulent drink. Don't know why you're laughing.
Plus,
it's a perfectly cromulent
yet again,
drink.
You've used the word cromulent on this channel, which is just incredible that you keep finding a way to just crowbar that in.
It's my favorite bit.
Yeah. Using the word cromulent literally stopped my argument midway through reading Tunky, but I'm stunned. Robert Allen's annoyed the ball's being given away in the middle of the park. Lord Lucan accused me of eating space cake. Honestly, I wish. Oh, life would be easier. Ian, did I tell you I'm living with a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old? I don't believe I'm allowed to sleep anymore, and I'm not married or with child. So like, I'm very confused what's happened to my life. I put my
You want to
address
put this
in the chat.
information on
Right,
YouTube,
right?
Tom? That would change it. Oh my God! Are we giving away a second goal? No, thank God it's offside. But yeah, I think that was what my brother was just referring to. That was really poor play, giving the ball away in the centre of midfield. And if anyone just want to say, if anyone does want to actually watch the game along with me, I am at 41 minutes, 22 seconds, 23 seconds. So if you do want to put it back and actually watch it with me, you can do that, because
30,
I am well aware
31,
I'm quite a bit
32.
behind.
Damn, now
32,
I'm behind.
33, 34. But Oxford definitely got away with that then. Slack play, and Lincoln nearly picked their pocket. They actually nearly, it was nearly Oxford's turn to be in the Lions' den there for a second. But luckily it was offside. Taylor, long range shot, no problem for Carlton Palmer in
Jake
the
Green
Lincoln
says
goal.
Espresso Martinez is the bomb on holiday, but it's just beer, rum, and Coke for him tonight. I have to agree. Espresso Martinis are incredible. And I've had a beer, and I'm probably going to have a gin and tonic at halftime because I'm going to need it.
I think I'm going to have a sneaky drink in the second half.
Jonathan Harris says, I'd rather be 20 seconds ahead. Thank you very much. Jake Green says he wished Winnall was actually good. I'm sure you'll defend Winnall in a second, Ian, because that's what you do. That's what you do.
Right. What has happened here? If Oxford, right, is Stevens going to be sent off here?
I think so.
He's got a yellow card. But again, Lincoln very easily cut Oxford open and are in on goal. Stevens comes charging out and he's fouled Anderson. And it's one of those ones where I'm going to go, he's adjudged that it isn't a goal scoring position. But he's miles offside.
Not.
Well, I mean, am I getting something wrong? I mean, he looked like he was a good 2 yards offside there, and the linesman's not giving it, and it's meant Stevens had to come out and give away a free kick right on the edge of the box, and I think the linesman's made a mistake. Maybe there was someone playing him on the far side, but it looked like he was miles offside. But chance for Lincoln now from the free kick, and a really, really good opportunity for them to get. It's like a perfect position, actually. It's just far enough out where they can like get it up and down over the wall, and it's like just right of centre. So it's perfect for it's really good for a left foot or a right foot here. But
and Jake Green says something about that twat Anderson again. I'm assuming that's a twat on Lincoln's side, not Oxford's.
Yeah, well, it was Anderson who was the guy who got fouled by Stevens.
Hans Christian
twat, but he was Hans Christian Andersen. Yeah, he's
weaves
Jimmy
quite
Anderson. He was the one who got fouled by Stevens at the edge of the box. But I'm going to say it's not his fault the linesman didn't flag him offside. But Oxford have got to defend this corner now. But if you want to call him a twat, I wholeheartedly agree.
Sorry,
dead airspace, Thomas. Come on, fill it.
Wilkinson's joke, but I'm not going to dignify it. But it kind of made me laugh, which is annoying. I wish it hadn't. Ian, is there a free kick coming or not? Because I already know the result of the free kick, so I need to know if it's happening and what's happening in front of you.
It was actually a good corner played by Lincoln. They got a good ball into the box, and Stevens did really well to just palm it away. And Oxford have cleared it, but Lincoln have got it straight back. So it's Lincoln's turn to have a little bit of pressure on Oxford now, but that's well headed away by Rob Atkinson. Clear the danger a little bit, but it is still possession to Lincoln with a throw in. And it'd be interesting to see what people, how Sky have talked about that one. Did they mention that he was offside, or was someone playing him on? Do they think it should have been a red card? But Lincoln come forward again. Another really good chance for them into the box. Played it back, and luckily number 7 for them, Edun, has blazed it into the Jim Smith stand behind the goal.
MD Alaman seems convinced the second goal will come for Oxford because he just keeps saying 2-goal Oxford and then Oxford win. Callum Coyle says 11 Al Tayaki Il Blake Bull fan. I probably need that. I need that probably written down. Jake Green agrees. Stop writing wrong. And
Thomas, Quick question: What was Jim Smith's nickname? Was it A, the Peregrine Falcon? Was it B, the Winter Robin? Or was it C, the Bald Eagle?
I thought it was Shoeless Jim. I thought he played shoeless. I thought that was his whole gimmick.
Okay. Shoeless
Just
Jim
Joe,
Jackson.
but
It is actually a trick question. The answer is the Tip
I don't
Miller.
believe anything you're saying now. Anything you're saying.
He was the Bald Eagle.
Apparently, Jake Green says they were in agreement that it was a good yellow to take. Robert Allen says that I appear to be frozen.
Yeah, it was a good yellow to take. If the linesman's doing his freaking job properly, then he doesn't have to take it, does he?
I don't know, Ian, but the rumor is that he's onside and that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And how dare you question the referee?
Dare you question? Not even a referee. Yeah. A referee's aide.
A referee's aide.
Aide memoir.
Yes, Jake Green. I'm talking about Shoeless Joe Jackson, not Shoeless Jim Smith, but still think it'd be
Shoeless Jim Smith. I like that. Mido Shadipo's been quiet in this game, hasn't he?
Outside of that phone call to Tuesday goal, he's been so terrible.
Right, let me stop you there. Is this going to be another player like Anthony Ford where you're going to slag off?
I was going to say that he's been abused by a certain manager and completely misused, and yet again, it's another player that has been like yanked around a bunch, and now he's not playing that well, and it's not that surprising.
Yeah.
Simon Wilkinson, Oxford next season, Papa John's Championship, no trophy, just a 12-inch thin crust hot and spicy pizza. I would honestly love it if the winner of the Papa John's World Championships got given a pizza and they're like, you got to celebrate with this. Like, we'll give you a trophy later, but first, you celebrate this.
I actually think we're actually jumping the gun with this World Championships, and I think that there is actually the Papa John's trophy, and I think if you win that, you then go to play into the World Championships, like the football, like the Club World Cup. You get to play from other sides around the world, around the world that have also won their equivalent of the Pizza World Championships, Pizza Local Championships.
Yes, agreed. Yes? Just out of interest,
that is a terrible challenge by Jamie Hansen, and he must be booked for that. He has. I don't think that Oxford like Anderson very much, because that is, again, him being scythed down by Jamie Hansen, who he looks like Jamie Hansen to me. And when they show him in a close up again, let me know what you think. But he looks like he's got a beard, but it looks like a bum fluff beard. It looks like he's not old enough to be shaving. And it doesn't look like, it just looks very
Jonathan Harris says
too wispy.
He means it. He thinks the prize would generate more hype. And I've got to be totally honest. What if the entire prize was just a pizza party for the team? Like you're back in school and
On that note, folks, thank you to everybody for being here. It's been a bit off the wall, but it's been a fun half to commentate on. 1-1 at the break. We're going to take a little break now because it is half time. And edge of your seat kind of game. Oxford looked all right. Pretty good going forward, but on more than one occasion looked a bit dicey at the back. And for the first time in a long, long time, Oxford have managed to come back from a losing position. And it is 1-1 at the break. And probably Oxford, at least Oxford deserve, I would say, is a draw at half-time. I thought they played all right. A lot better than what we've seen in recent weeks. And let's hope they can push on for that rare and elusive victory in the second half of this one.
Oh, Ian, it's going to be a win now. It's officially happened. Oxford can come back because the only time Oxford come back is when we live stream them losing. Correct?
The only time that didn't happen was almost like a before live stream occurrence when they got a 1-1 draw against Portsmouth, where I'm not sure if you remember this guy, Tom. Alex Rodriguez-Goran?
No, I've never heard of him. What position does he play?
Yeah, he only played a handful of games. He scored a penalty in that game.
No.
And Yeah, it's only goal for Oxford, but other than that, they have managed to beat Wigan 2-1 from a goal down, and they managed to get a 97th minute equaliser against the McDonald's Dons.
That was fantastic. Genuinely fantastic.
Against the McDonald's Dons, which again was something we were live streaming.
It was something we were live streaming. Can I also very quickly say to everybody on our chat, thank you so much for all of you taking part and being like really good sports. Genuinely really appreciating it. It's really keeping this going. It's a lot more fun watching this with you guys. Jake Green and Jonathan Harris both deserve content creation things because the stuff coming out there. I'm just going to, Jake, I can't not quote this. The Papa John's Ultimate World Series Championship, League of Nations, Galactic and Intergalactic World Championships, plus Domino's sucks. That's the best name for a tournament.
Well, that's an interesting one for the chat, though, isn't it? What do you prefer? Do you prefer Domino's or Papa John's?
What do you prefer, Ian? Because
I prefer Domino's. I'm a Domino's guy.
You know you're not allowed to say it. You know we're sponsored by Papa John's.
Well,
Papa John's,
maybe
the best you can
sponsored
get.
by Domino's as well.
Do you think they'll support? Do you think they'll actually start sponsoring us if we just keep saying Papa John's World Championships in this?
I don't think. I think no. I don't think they would. I think that they'd just be grateful. They'd just be happy with the
free advertising,
national advertising budgets they have, and the fact they've got billboards around football stadiums and stuff. I think they won't need to drop a few pence on it.
But what about us? Very quickly, everybody who's watching this, I assume, is drinking because it's Friday night and you're watching Oxford play football, both of which are separate reasons to be drinking. The third one is you're on here with us, which is a third reason to be drinking. I am now on a vodka tonic because that's where my life is right now. Ian, what are you drinking?
Oh, I'm drinking a really classy drink, Tom, of basically what I've got left over, which is whiskey and Fanta.
Oh, that sounds sensational. Send one over here.
It's all right.
Matt Uranka of Grandstand Betters, our actual number one Patreon subscriber. That's right. Every single time I reference any of you, you become the number one Patreon subscriber and Oxford United's biggest fan. Is on. He says it's 1-1 draw. It looks like a lot of attack from Oxford in the first half, and they certainly did some attacking. He's also questioning my hat. Matt, don't make me put you in a timeout. It's better than like one of the adjustable ones, and that's all I've got to offer you right now. And yes, I'm a dirty, dirty cheat.
Endeavour is the word I would use.
For what?
There's been a lot more endeavour from Oxford United.
Lord Lucan says, I don't know why I say this out loud in all honesty. He says, fun fact, Brandon Barker wears a toupee but takes it off on match days.
He might do. He might well do. He might. Lord Lucan would know. If anybody would know that, Lord
Just
Lucan
out of interest,
would know it.
Is Lord Lucan Brandon Barker?
No.
I get really excited there. Is the second half kicked off yet,
Lord
by the way?
Lucan's an aloof individual, Thomas. He's,
Brandon.
Someone that went missing years ago.
Christ. Has the second half kicked off? Where are we at, Ian? Have they?
It probably. Most people are probably 5 minutes in. To be fair, I'm not. The second half hasn't kicked off on my stream yet. Every time I try and load the stream on my computer, it says something went wrong, so I've had to switch to my iPad, which means I'm watching it on very small screen instead of a nice big computer monitor, which is what it is. But it hasn't kicked off yet.
Do you want to talk about?
They're just showing Carl Robinson's wonderful, majestic grin.
That man. So Oxford, out of their 11 shots, only managed 4 on target, but obviously they're out-possessing Lincoln pretty handily. By the end of the first half, it felt like they were in complete control for some reason, despite the random yellow cards and stuff. It felt like a goal was coming, Ian.
It did. It did feel like a goal was coming, but it felt like a goal could come either end, to be fair. And I would say Lincoln's game plan was what I thought it would be sit off Oxford and try and pick them off on the break, which what they've done. When they've done that, they've done it very well. But Oxford have looked good, and they certainly grew into the game a lot, and they started to get a lot of joy playing through the middle a lot. A good hold-up play through Taylor, Henry, Sykes, linking up very well. And they have got the ball outside Barker or Shadipo. They've done well as well. But it's usually an area of the pitch we're not that good at of late. So it's encouraging to see Oxford being able to build up through the middle.
Adam Clark asks, and I don't think we have actually. Oh my God, I'm saying the same word over and again. I do not think we've spoken about Blackpool's insane run into the top 6 that sees that undefeated run all of a sudden look really good. A couple wins at the end of 8 games undefeated, which only had, I think, 2 wins in it before. But now it's 4 wins in the last 10 games, 6 draws. They're a top 6 club. What happened? Yeah. I had them written off, Ian, and I'm never wrong.
I think it. Well, I'm just going to say second half's just starting with Lincoln on the attack.
Excellent.
Crossed in, but it looks like it's gone behind, but it has gone behind for a corner. Well, I mean, they just. Well, we had the expression, didn't we, of they've done a Blackpool, of just them being like ridiculously inconsistent. And yeah. But what they have done is when they weren't on the best of form, they've managed to grind out draws instead of defeats, and which has just kept the confidence going. And now they've started to hit a little purple patch, and have had 2 brilliant wins. Really, like, you know, the Tangerine Matt said that usually Blackpool are pretty crap from set pieces, so it was a bit of a shock for them to score 2 set pieces against Oxford. So that'll be good. And then they went and beat Peterborough 3-1, which was a fantastic performance. Probably better than the Oxford one.
Yeah, no, they've been fantastic. So well done, Adam. I'm assuming you're a Blackpool fan. But yeah, well done to Tangerine Matt more than anybody else, who only picked a 1-1 draw, not his team to roller coaster us. And I told him, this is where you learn your lessons. Never, ever show weakness. And right now, Ian has not shown any weakness, and he might actually get a result here.
Yeah, well, you know, it works sometimes, doesn't it? I mean, depends what Oxford can be bothered to show up, really, isn't it? It's. I genuinely, the thing is, it's really annoying as well, is off the back of that Doncaster win, I looked at the fixtures, and this is, again, being a bit silly and naive as a football fan. You're always overconfident of your side's chances. But I looked at Blackpool, a side pretty similar to us, but a side I would have backed Oxford to beat. Northampton, a side down the bottom, I'd have backed Oxford to beat. Lincoln, side out of form, playing them at home, the side I'd have backed Oxford to beat. So I was looking at the offer that one. It could be that Doncaster one could be the start of a nice little winning run, and that would like be perfect for the charge running for the run in after the Sunderland game. But football has a way of biting you in the arse when you start to think of things like that, doesn't it?
Well, it's funny that you say us. I believe Jonathan Harris is Bart Simpsoning me here because I repeat everything he's typed thus far. Because his
Hang on one second. Hang on. Lincoln are just coming forward. Chance to cross into the box. It's a good ball in. It's a free header by their number 8, but it's pretty piss poor header, I must say, and it's looped harmlessly over the bar and out for a goal kick to Oxford.
Right. So Jonathan Harris says, excuse me. He says, is it true that Oxford are in for the up-and-coming centre-back, Huge ass? That's right. I've been Bart Simpson, but I will take it. Roger Cantel says, think we need to win 6-0 to go over Blackpool. Watch the space, but keep breathing.
We need to win. Oh, yeah. Well, we need to get 6 more goals then, do we?
That's what I'm hearing, and I believe it.
Wow. How long do you think it'll take Oxford to get 6 goals? 4 games?
It's more than that right now, isn't it?
Yeah, 6 could quite easily be 6 games. Again, linesman not giving offside. Lincoln have a chance to score. Lincoln have started the second half better, like they started the first half better, actually. It's Oxford who is definitely in the Lions' den at the moment, Thomas.
And no doubt Carl Robinson.
Oh, well, I hope Carl Robinson would have checked the pockets before he went out after the Northampton game to make sure there's no slab of brisket in there or anything like that.
You brought a whole hog? Why are you bringing a whole hog? How did you fit? Yeah. Callum HD says he just wanted to say he always watched our stuff and we do great videos. Up the mighty Donny. Thanks for being here.
Thanks,
genuinely,
mate.
Really appreciate it.
How do you think? How do you fancy Donny's chances now? It's not been a fantastic run of form for you guys of late, but you know you've been a good side over the course of the season. Are you still confident that you can get in the playoffs?
Ryan Irving says that he's on the dark beer. Good call. Maybe send me one of those. Jonathan Harris is just, says exposed. It was worth a try. Genuinely, it's a good try. But unfortunately, Ian wasn't born yesterday. I was, and he warned me about jokes like this. Ian, who's going to win? Hazrat Mansouri would like to know.
Right, Oxford come forward. Edge of the box. It is blocked by Lincoln defender. Shadipo does well, though. And again, a swing of the leg by James Henry, and it is blocked by Lincoln. But Oxford have a chance to still got the ball and can build it up from the back a little bit now. They've got the in Tom's opinion, overrated Anthony Ford. And Oxford are back in the middle with Brannigan playing it out wide to Jamie Hansen, who's had to go do the old right back, left back switch in this game because Ruffles unfortunately went off injured. Look, I'm always a bit more of an optimist. I'm always a bit, despite how bad Oxford have been in games, I'm always optimistic they can put on a performance. I'm optimistic they can win this game. So I'm going to go.
I'm going to have to stick with Lincoln right now because I can't show weakness in my original prediction, can I? Jake Green, if you've been forgetting to fill in the pools information, you're a fool. Go do it. Potent.
This really feels like I really feel like Oxford should really think about taking Shadipo off and bringing on Dan the Man Adgington. And even maybe because Shadipo's been very ineffective in this game, and I just don't think it's. I think you're better off making the change now than leaving it another 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, he doesn't tend to make.
Lincoln literally trying to just play long balls over the top now, and have had some joy with getting in Oxford's back line by a combination of poor assistant referee decisions and some slack defending.
Houghton Dave says, "Come on, you yellows!" For a Sunderland fan. Yes, Sunderland fan. That's what we want.
That's what I like to hear.
Up in the tizzy.
Yes.
I don't know what I just said there, but I won't speak again. Simon Wilkinson says, question for Ian. In 2016, Plymouth sold Curtis Nelson to Oxford, and I was curious what you thought of Curtis as a player.
Thought he was great. Thought he was really good. It's actually on Tuesday night, me and Thomas started getting, and I'm sure a lot of you did, things in our feed of 2 years ago where he scored the winner against Coventry at the Ricoh Arena. Just a player, a really good leader, a really good centre back. He was far too good for League One level by the time he was done with Oxford at the end of that season, and just a very, very, very dependable centre back that we were sorry he left.
Yeah, 100%.
Really good.
I had forgotten about that game, but it was really fun.
And I think Nelson starts pretty regularly for Cardiff, so he's made the step up and not look back really.
There is a surprising amount of players that have left Oxford and gone on to the Championship, the Premiership, like the Kemar Roofs at Rangers, isn't he? Like,
yeah. Okay. I mean, from that, yeah. In the last few, in the last few years, you've had obviously Kemar Roofs won. You had John Lundstrom, who obviously went to Sheffield United, done really well. Obviously, you've got Gavin White and Curtis Nelson, who went to Cardiff. Gavin White's obviously come back down to Hull. But even people like Marcus Brown that was here started like getting a bit more game time at Middlesbrough this season. So, yeah, I'd say, yeah, it has been a good stepping stone for a lot of players recently.
Robert Allen says Oxford United start the second half slowly. Shocker. They haven't
haven't conceded yet though, or have they? Are you ahead of me? Don't ruin it for me. I'm still living in a 1-1 wonderland.
Unless you're 5 minutes behind him, they definitely haven't conceded when he broke that. Lord Lucan brings up Man United under Fergie's first loss being to Oxford. I believe he's winning.
Was.
Callum HD.
First game in charge. That was his first game in charge, wasn't it? And he lost to Oxford. But
Don Costafran, Callum HD responded to you. He said, we should get into the playoffs. Andy Butler plays like Darren Moore, but more forward. And with Bostock back from injury, it'll have us in the playoffs, but not promoted. Do you agree, Ian?
I would say they're good enough to get into the playoffs. If you're in the playoffs, you're good enough to go up, in my opinion, because it's such a bloody lottery. Last season Wickham went up out of the 4 sides, and they would have been the least favoured side.
Yeah.
So
Wickham shouldn't have even been in the playoffs. So yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you've got yourself.
Sorry,
if you get in there, you definitely have a. It's tough, but you definitely got a chance. I mean, at the moment, and things can change quickly. You definitely look at sides like Sunderland or Pompey.
I feel like Pompey are going to get back on track soon. Charlton even.
Yeah, as being probably too strong. But look, if you play them, if you can get through the semi-final, you're capable of anyone's capable of anything in a one-off game, aren't they? In the final, so
I will say
I'll just say Brandon Barker. That Lord Luca might be right with this Brandon Barker comment. Definitely looks like he could be the sort of guy that wears a hairpiece.
60 Kasuma says, "Come on, Lincoln. Good for you being there. Like genuinely." Robert Allen says, "In 90 seconds, you're going to see the worst Oxford United free kick in its history. So, Ian, get prepared for that."
Robert Allen, he can't help it, can he? Let me see these things for myself.
John Joe Kenny, another player who made the Premier League.
Do you know what? I really wasn't expecting it to be as bad as that. That was pretty bad. And I know most of you have seen it, but I'll describe it to Tom. So Oxford had a free kick like 40 yards out on the left-hand side. And you may have heard this one before, but a good chance to get the boys up from the back to swing and to put some pressure. But Oxford come forward again. Chance! Good save by the keeper. Taylor makes it 2-1! Come on! Come on! All is forgiven by that cunning plan. That cunning plan by James Henry to give the ball away. It's come back. I think it was a header by Mark Sykes, and it was a good save by the keeper, but it's come straight out to Matt Taylor. As we know, one thing about Matt Taylor, he will convert 1 in 20 of his chances, and he has tucked that away. But Henry will ball in. It was met by Jeremiah, and it is banged in by Matt Taylor. And all you negative buggers out there who didn't give Oxford a chance, who constantly went on to me about how bad they are coming from behind, where are you now, eh? Where are you now?
Yeah, I honestly think that you are dreamland at this point.
I'm only teasing. It's fucking fantastic. And I let's say both sides have come out and played quite well in this second half. I mean, I don't need to talk about that horrific free kick now, which was a shocker. And let's just hope Oxford can hold on to this lead or build on it, or at the very least hold on to it and come away.
Robert Mills, power right in the kisser. Sorry, 6-0.
I like that.
Friday night is a significantly better time to stream than Saturday lunchtime.
I like that one.
Jake Green.
Good. Right, go on, Shadipa. Run.
Anything? No?
Yeah, I think you need to get Mide off. It's not his game today. Lincoln come forward, get to the edge of the box. Really dangerous opportunity now inside the area. Chance to shoot. Good save by Stevens, but it's come out, and Brannigan does well to hack it clear. Good save by Stevens, but really one he should have held on to, really. And it's lucky it came out and went to an Oxford player, not a Lincoln player. But Lincoln certainly kicked them into life a little bit. Shot from the edge of the box, and it has gone harmlessly wide. And Oxford can breathe a little sigh of relief. Just coming up to the hour point in this one. Oxford United 2, Lincoln City 1.
Well, Ian Allen, you failed, but Robert Allen has come through. Patreon backer and stockholder in Very Biased Opinions Limited. Robert Allen says, 1 in 20 chances. That comment alone deserves super chats. Super chatters, or sign up for Patreon. But do it now, please. We love you all. Thank you. Simon Wilkinson says, "Here's a question for me. How many nickels would I get for a dime?" I suspect most people would get 2, but I think I'd be lucky to get 1. Maybe a half a nickel. Livy Cred says, "Who's going to finish top 2?"
I think at the moment, it's going to be Hull and Sunderland.
I have to agree strongly with you. Peterborough have messed up every opportunity
but
they've had.
Yeah, just at the moment though. Again, it changes every 2 weeks. The outlook looks 100%. So different. It could well be. I could well be saying Peterborough and Portsmouth in a couple of weeks' time.
I don't know why. I get the feeling Hull are going to do it. Something about the way they played most of the season, and I know they had a blip.
I mean, I say we've seen them. The 2 games we've seen. For me, over the 2 games, they've looked the strongest side.
Yeah.
I've seen. And
you just don't really lose a huge amount.
It's how you when you deal with. They've had some key players out injured, like everybody's had, and they seem to have like quite a lot of depth in their squad compared to others. And the other side, who you'd look at and say, we've got a hell of a lot of depth in their squad and are playing well at the moment, is Sunderland. And you wouldn't. So it wouldn't be shocked if it does come down to those two. But Oxford with a chance to get a ball in the box as well. But it is easy for Palmer to gather this time. But Oxford still looking pretty. Both sides looking pretty good when they come forward. Actually,
Sunderland have only lost 5 games this season. Do you know how many they've drawn? 13.
What, 11?
It's unbelievable. The teams above them, Peterborough and Hull, have both lost 10 games. But Sunderland draw everything. Everything. They don't win as much. Only 17 wins. And that was the boring statistic for your day.
Well, I mean, it's been their problem for the years they've been in League One, isn't it? We've joked about Lincoln into the area. Chance, good save by Jack Stevens, causing so many problems. Lincoln with through balls. Really, the through ball, the quality of the through balls that they've played in this game have been really good. And they've got runners coming in from the wings and midfield that have got in behind Oxford many times. That one, Stevens had to be alert. And because the striker got there, or the winger, I think, got there first, and he managed to make a good save. But Oxford still, 2-1 just seems as a really slender lead, and it does not. To me, it'd be amazing if Lincoln don't get a second goal in this.
So Oxford equal on points at Blackpool, 5 goals behind them, 4 goals behind them. So if Oxford can somehow bang in 5 more, they will go above Blackpool in the standings. They have played 3 games more. They played 3 games more than Donny, the same amount as Lincoln, but both Sunderland and Peter have a game in hand, Hull on equal. So it's still really tough. Portsmouth only played 35 matches, so all they need to do is pick up some points and they'll jump over Oxford. But all of a sudden, Ian, Oxford are gonna come second in the league and be the greatest side that the League One's ever seen. It's awesome.
Well played, Oxford. But it comes back to, as I said, I mean, we do have a favourable run in against some sides down the bottom. Then obviously that's, if we play like how we did against Northampton, then we're not going to have much of a chance of beating any side. So but we do have a favourable run in against sides that are in the lower half of the table. The exception to that is games like Sunderland. I think we've got Accrington and we've got Gillingham. But we are Chance Taylor plays a nice through ball, but it's well defended and goes back to the keeper. But Lincoln can break now with Rob Atkinson quite high up the pitch out of possession. But brilliant little block there by James Henry. Stops any momentum that Lincoln have got. And it's just so weird, isn't it? It's like you want to sort of have some clarity on it, and you want to have some sort of like, oh, okay, yeah, we're definitely in the promotion mix, or it's season over. But the truth is, it's like it's going to go right down to probably the last 2 or 3 games of the season, and it's probably going to be up to like 8 or 9 sides fighting for a couple of playoff spots.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be incredibly tight, and I think we've done our best outside of probably the loss predictions video to be as honest and even as we can with our praise or criticisms. The last couple of games have hurt, though.
Definitely. They really felt like a big kick in the teeth. And again, it comes back to, I've said it a million times, it comes back to the manner of performance. If we'd have put Northampton to the sword and really played well, and they just hit us with a sucker punch, and we won 1-0, you can just say, oh, well, we were unlucky in that game. But it wasn't the case. We played really poorly and deserved to lose to a side that are not beneath us, but much lower down the table than we
I like how you had to explain that, because no one on here watches football, so they wouldn't have understood the reference. Just going to quickly cover a couple of these. Lord Lucan, I would not have covered this, Lord Lucan, but I'm going to say it because of the responses. My chemistry teacher said alcohol is the solution. Jake Green's response was the only solution, and Jonathan Harris finished it with the final solution. Getting dark on very biased opinions on a Friday night.
He's reusing material, though, because he's used that one before.
See, Lord, improve. Grandstand Betters wants to know to get stock options. I'm pretty sure you already own us, Matt. Does Matt not already own us?
Yeah, he wants to, doesn't he?
I mean,
he's got his fingers and toes in every little bent and dirty pie in YouTube.
Are we a bent and dirty pie?
Well, we're an honourable and reputable company, Thomas, but that's why he wants to take us down a... Right, Lincoln with a chance here. Lincoln with a chance for a free kick on the edge, like out wide, close to the edge of the box. Chance to smash it in. Oxford somehow scramble it away, and Jeremiah Sykes can just smash it clear. But Oxford, like, Lincoln player is down in like the 6-yard box, so they're going to... No, he's managed to get... It's a miracle he's got back up, and he's literally hobbling away as Lincoln carry on the attack, and he's got back into an attacking position. But Lincoln are in the box again. A lot of Oxford players back. Good curling effort, but that's gone wide, and Oxford can breathe a sigh of relief. And Stevens will take a goal
let
kick.
me remind you that Tangerine Matt said that if Oxford United win this game, he will become a Patreon backer. It's been said. I have proof. It's in the chat.
And at the £1,000 tier.
I mean, obviously, that makes him also the majority stakeholder in the company, but that's fine. That's fine.
Behind Christina Allen.
Yes. Our illustrious and glorious chairman, Christina Allen.
Right. Interesting decision here. Henry obviously first came back from injury, so he couldn't play a full game. And Robinson's brought on the youngster instead of him. He hasn't gone with Adji, or he hasn't gone with Winnell, or someone of a bit more of experience. He has gone with Chambers Parleon to come on and play in that midfield role. Massive opportunity for him to get on the pitch ahead of Adji and Winnell and Robinson's favourite player, Liam Kelly.
It's good to not see Liam Kelly coming on in. It fills me with joy. It makes me happy, and it doesn't anger you, which is good.
Look, I would be more than happy to see Liam Kelly striding onto the pitch at the end of the game to shake hands with the opposition.
That's what I wanted to hear. Jake Green says Burton's the final game, and it's a stone's throw from his house. At one point, about 3 games ago, it looked like Burton could go on such an insane run that it would be Oxford versus Burton for the final playoff place. Now both of the teams have done their best to dissuade us from thinking that, but Jimmy Floyd's band of merry pranksters could still do it, Ian. They could still do it.
There's 2 types of bands, isn't there? You've got the merry pranksters, and what's Joey Barton's band?
Reprobates.
Miscreants.
Prison Rovers, I see you.
Right. Oxford still bouncing around in the box. Shot by Shadipo, deflected wide for another corner. That was like pinball in there.
It was like a game of basketball, Ian.
No, pinball. I just said it.
So basketball.
Like, this deaf, dumb, and blind kid sure plays a mean pinball. Bounce around in there. Right, chance again for Oxford to get a ball into the box, and more importantly, get the big men up from the back.
And I can't believe
he's a tall lad, this Chambers Parleon. Am I saying that right or wrong?
Is he come on for Henry? You happy with that?
I'm surprised. I'm not unhappy with it. I think he's a good player. It's a big game to bring him onto and a big test. But I'm happy that Robinson's got the courage to bring him on rather than bringing on Mr. Kelly.
I mean, Jake Green says that Liam Kelly is the Godfather.
Something.
I mean, he's the Godfather, but he's the Godfather in the way that like Marlon Brando was the Godfather and was like mildly overweight and couldn't speak anymore. Like, you don't want him on a football pitch.
No, I really disagree with that. I disagree with that massively.
Marlon Brando was talented.
Marlon Brando, as Vito Corleone, still had command over everything. Liam Kelly has command over nothing except possibly his own bladder.
Well, I mean, I think he's got a level of command over Carl Robinson.
Like, he might do, yeah, but I don't know. I might take that bladder comment back. I'm pretty sure I've seen him running around in a nappy.
Houghton Dave says, "Come on, lads! Sunderland Athletic Football Club, up the boys." Jonathan Hart.
You can have you up the boys until next Friday, on Good Friday, when Oxford travel up there, and you will see. Oh my God, it's going to be a hiding, an absolute hiding.
And I think it's time for a very bold opinion. What is your score prediction for the Sunderland game?
Do we want to ruin that though? Because then maybe no one will watch our League One prediction.
No, I said your bold prediction, not your actual prediction. What is your bold prediction?
Okay. I from looking at the form of both sides, and looking at the strength of the squad, I can't see anything other than a 5-0 Oxford
There it
win.
is, ladies and gentlemen. 5-0 to Oxford against third or fourth in the league? Sunderland? Third.
Hey, look, we're
Fourth.
Lincoln in the league. We're playing them at the moment. We're beating them.
Yeah, you are. Roger can't tell. If you say Liam Kelly backwards, it sounds like sausage.
You have to don't say his name into a mirror 3 times.
Then it'll pop out.
You're forced to play him for 10 games.
It'll pop out, and you just have to play him at center mid for the rest of your life.
He runs around trying to steal your
Jonathan Harris says, "Do we know anything about the Oxford youth team? One of his primary school friends is in there." I do not. Ian, do you know anything about Oxford youth team?
Who is in the youth
We'll
team?
give him a shout out.
Not a huge amount, I must say. I don't follow it too much, but that is fantastic that you've got a buddy that plays at that level.
I thought you were going to say you've got a friend.
That's a good for us, Thomas. Not very.
Joseph Billingsley said, "Do you think Sunderland will win tomorrow against Bristol Rovers?" Let me answer that for you, and let me answer that by pointing out that Joey Barton is the manager of Bristol Rovers. So of course they're going to win. Of course Sunderland are going to beat them. Joey Barton is the worst. The worst. Sorry, if there are any Bristol Rovers fans on, it's not personal. It's about Joey.
I would imagine that a lot of people that are doing accumulators this weekend would have Sunderland to beat Bristol Rovers as pretty much a lock.
Almost free money.
Pretty much the same amount of people that will have Oxford as a lock to beat Sunderland.
Well, Houghton Dave says 5-0, is he drunk? And he's not drunk, but he's bold. He's very bold. And he's Ian Allen, living in Lincoln, coming at you.
Talking nonsense 24 hours a day.
On that note, would you guys like us just live stream for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? Because it is an available option. Do we have jobs?
Look, serious comments on the Sunderland game will come out next week on the channel. So we'll give our opinions on that because I might even think it might be more than 5.
Jake Green says, "I heard Kelly bought a pass to beat the Qs at Alton Towers, but it was too short to go on any rides." Yes,
I like it. He's along with Gary Smart and Sam Deering, Alfie Potter. They're all too short. Sorry, boys. It's back to the teacups for you.
I'm pretty sure Simon Wilkinson's a Plymouth supporter, and if I got this wrong, please correct me. But he says, "Our first season back in Ligue 1, and I'll be happy just to consolidate and go for a promotion push next season."
Been the best. Like you've been arguably the best club of the ones that have come up, though, haven't you? I mean, Swindon have been, I think, extremely disappointed. And I've said their name now, so this means Lincoln are going to score. But they've been extremely disappointing. Northampton have been where I thought they would be, which is just about in and around the relegation zone. And I thought Plymouth and Crewe would be quite safe staying up. And so far you have done. Yeah, so good season.
I mean, if you really want to know what Ian thinks of Crewe, you should go back to the original things he said about them because he was brutal about Crewe. But we'll move on from that. Jonathan Harris is...
Well, yeah, last season when they went up? Yeah, I know. Came back to bite me, didn't it? Especially when they had the 2 COVID games called off.
You got 10 fans in your ground. Good job.
When they had those 2 games, when they had those 2 games postponed at the start of the season as well. When Crewe should have came and they were called off because of COVID, like really late, and then all Oxford fans were like, "Oh, we're going to beat them when this game finally gets played." Nope, 2-0 to Crewe.
That's good.
Well done.
Jonathan Harris says his mate's name is Tyler Goodrum, and he carried the primary school to many, many great victories. Well, Tyler, you're officially a friend of the channel, so get on here and watch us, and we will call you out every time. Success.
Right. Lincoln are certainly the side looking more likely. Oxford certainly are going into a bit of the old classic England mode of what we have, we hold, which, as we know, works oh so well for them. What do we think? Any comments on what you thought of the England game last night?
I mean, I have a ton of comments to go through anyway. Houghton Dave says Barton is vile. Sunderland will wallop Bristol. Jonathan Harris has retitled you. Ian Allen, you're no longer optimistic, Brother Allen. You are bold, Brother Allen.
Oh, I'm just going to say one thing quickly on Bristol Rovers though, because I know we did have the we don't like Barton. We like Hawkeye, but we don't like Joey Barton. But we do like the guy who runs the One Rovers Vlogs YouTube channel, Charlie.
Is great.
So
check it out.
I would like them to win. I don't want Rovers to go down because of him, because like he's a nice guy and all that. But it's hard to make a case for them to get anything against Sunderland.
Yeah, it is very hard. Genuinely, I'd like Bristol to stay up. So
but we kind of have a bit of a love-hate relationship with Bristol Rovers.
Yeah, it's actually really tough. Every time I predict them for a win, I want to kill myself. But because of Charlie, I've done it a couple times now. Norman Logan says Barton
killed yourself.
This is the ghost of Thomas Pickering. Wow. Joey Barton says that he always manages to get his teams fired up for games against Sunderland. Something to do with his Newcastle connection, he reckons. I actually think Joey Barton just gets his teams fired up because he threatens to, put cigars out in their eyes or, whip their feet without shoes on if they don't do what he wants. I mean, I've heard things. It's like a prison. They don't actually get to leave the ground except for matches. It's like the North Korean national side. There's, security, and they're kept in the hotel and stuff. It's known as a brutal regime.
Thomas, look, if it's illegal for a football manager to physically abuse another football manager in the tunnel in sight of a lot of people and witnesses and get away with it, then I don't want to live on this world anymore.
I didn't know where you're going with that. It hurts so much. Oh, Joey Barton is the worst. Joey Barton.
I can't believe he got away with that.
His entire career is built on getting away with physical violence.
I know. The thing is, as well, it's okay, these things take a while to play out, right? When they're if they go to trial and people looking to investigate it. But I can't believe Fleetwood was so stood by him and didn't condemn him for what he did.
I mean, it's because he went in and beat the hell out of the chairman before the chairman could release a statement. I don't know if you noticed, but when the chairman did his statement, he was literally hogtied to a chair with a gun to his head. It is this day on this.
Hey, right. Free kick to Oxford United. Chance to get the big guys up from the back. Played into the box. It is headed behind for a corner to Oxford United. So another chance to get a ball into the box and get those big guys up from the back.
What do you want to say about Ford? Say something about Ford.
I was going to say, I don't want to. I like the guy. You're the one who's got issues. Look. If you go back and you watch the game where Man City won the league against QPR and Joey Barton got a red card in that game, and if that's a red card, the game's gone.
Then the game's gone. No?
Because that is an absolute joke of a red card. All he did is literally kick someone.
I remember that red card. I can't remember the actual foul, and I may be wrong here. Being insanely petulant and uncalled for, and they were winning the game, and Man United were going to win the title. And Joey Barton went, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get myself sent off for literally no reason. And just
Borderline if it was even a foul, Tom. Red card.
Lord Lucan says Joey Barton's hated almost as much as DiCanio. No, because DiCanio's also loved. No one loves Joey Barton.
You're talking to the wrong crowd here,
Sorry.
Thomas.
Norman Logan says
Oxford fans don't have a lot of love for DiCanio when he was swindling because he was
swindling. Yeah, and as a
manager.
Man United fan, Joey DiCanio is one of my favorite human beings of all time. He's just got a history of great. Yeah, no. Norman Logan says no one likes Barton.
I'm not having that.
Roger Cantel jokes. Did Chambers Papillon come on? Have not heard his name yet. I'm assuming that's a joke.
Yeah, he has come on, Chambers.
I said I thought it was a joke. Touch the ball.
I haven't noticed him do it. I mean, I haven't noticed him do anything of note, but he hasn't done anything wrong either. So he's doing all right.
Houghton Dave says Barton's mother doesn't even like him. Robert Allen says the Fleetwood the players are all suffering from PTSD now after Joey's regime. How did Barton get away with assault? Seriously. Norman Logan comments that they were too scared. Jake Green is happy you guys didn't concede. He says, phew, I assume you guys almost conceded. I'm not paying attention anymore. Jonathan Harris says, Oxford really treating this like a Friday night. Conga line every corner.
Yeah, well, that seems to be the way we like to do the corners. I think like they've literally saw England in the World Cup 2018, and now they like to do that little conga line, which
Ian, how long is left?
I've got 80 minutes on the clock.
10 minutes left.
Some people may have a lot more. Some people might be watching it on the same thing as
Do you
me.
mean
But
less?
I've got
Or more?
Taylor's coming off now for Winnell, Shadipo coming off for Adji, which is a change I would have made 10 minutes ago, at least. But at least Adji's on now. I think there's got a couple of good subs there. I think Winnell will be. He's a good target man, and obviously Adji's very good at like just taking the pressure off the back line by going on insane, crazy runs
Jake
up the
Green
pitch.
says he's glad that Anderson's off. He was dangerous. Roger Cantel's agreeing with that. Ian, I think you'll probably agree with that. Also, no Oxford player's going to get sent off. Now he's taken off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a heads up, guys, we will be jumping off right at full time to go film our reaction video to this, which if it stays the same, it's just going to be Ian dancing topless. That's right, you heard it here first. If you want 8.5 minutes, which is the exact time of the video, I already know it when he does these topless dances.
If you are a fan of male bosoms, then check out
it finishes with him just covering himself in a bottle of milk and then to fade to black.
Don't ruin it. Leave something to the imagination.
Simon Wilkinson says, if Oxford get promoted, are you guys still going to cover League One predictions? All he wants to hear is Tom say, Green Army. Is Ebenezer on?
Oh, yeah. Ebenezer. Who was Ebenezer again?
Yeah.
Adji. Yeah, he's on. Adji's on. We'll get back to you on that one. Look, it's looking a bit. It's a long shot, isn't it, for Oxford to go up? Yeah. It's the only. It's unlikely, and it's annoying because we like doing League One predictions.
It's great.
It's just unlikely because of time.
It is genuinely, and I mean this. We love having you guys on here. If you guys sign up on Patreon and it's worth it, we'll stay on League One all the time. But we do so many predictions, don't we? And like we literally film every night.
I mean, if there's demand for it, we'd probably look to do that and drop something like Champions League where we don't have as much demand for it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Also, I've clearly.
No, you are. I was just backing it up, really.
Could you scream Patreon at the top of your lungs, topless with milk? Jonathan Harris says that the scene I've just described is for an OnlyFans, and Robert Allen says, I thought Ian's topless dancing was only available to Patreon subscribers. And yeah.
That is true. But once in a while, you have to literally throw a little crumb down to the paupers and the peasants below.
Yeah, we don't do OnlyFans. We just do Patreon.
Or sometimes you have to throw a little bit of meat into the lion's den.
Now, it's looking to me like Lincoln came in with lots of meat in their pockets and have lost 2 pockets. Is this accurate? Admittedly, Oxford came in with a bit of like worms and fish chum, and that's been eaten off one of their pockets. So, yeah.
True.
Also...
honestly, literally, I would. Michael Appleton's a very thorough manager, and I can't imagine he would have sent his side out with much meat on them at all. But there must have been a little stray chipolata in there somewhere.
I'd love a chipolata.
That has just literally fallen that's gone under the radar, and Oxford have gobbled it up. Gobbled it up, Thomas.
Right up. Jake Green says no strawberries and cream in. Save that. Playoffs.
And Wimbledon.
Are we covering Wimbledon?
Yeah, Thomas. We're going to do round by round predictions of the men's and women's Wimbledon.
Thank God. Can we do the qualifying as well?
I don't see why we have a choice. I don't see that we have a choice.
Are we going to do the Euros this year?
We'll do something, won't we? We can't. We'll do some sort of stuff for it. We won't do huge in depth.
Just out of interest, anyone watching this channel right now, did you guys follow our World Cup when England?
When we first started.
And did you enjoy the war chart? Is it worth employing a war chart again? Ian
also,
says
as
no.
well, we'll do stuff like analysis of like the groups, but a lot of the time that did just boil down to me just saying they're good at the back, but they don't score a lot of goals.
One of those videos got 5,000 views. So clearly, 4 times when you said it, you were very accurate.
That's what I said I was a Nigerian prince.
You did get a lot of credit card details on that video. It was a little bit weird.
Right, Lincoln come forward now, and it looked like Chambers, Papillon, wonderful challenge in midfield, and Adji can now stride forward with a chance to get Oxford up the pitch. He's got a ball out wide, he's overhit it for Winnall, who looks like he's running in treacle, even though he's just come on, and all Winnall can do is just stop it from going for a goal kick, but it is a throw-in, and Winnall looks less than impressed by Adji overhitting that simple 5-yard pass.
Is Adji actually, like, he's a better striker than he is kind of winger, isn't he?
I think so. I think his best position is as a striker, or I think he would. I think if you could get him into a team where you play him 2 up front, I think he'd be brilliant. Yeah. I think he'd be a great target man. Really good at playing like a deep lying forward, and he'll make chances for his strike partner. And I think that in a way, good effort from Oxford, really good play by Barker, a little bit of a deflected shot, and keeper really could have caught it, I thought, but he's pushed it round the post for a corner to Oxford. And for once, I won't say my usual thing. You can say it for once if you want.
If they were wearing white, they'd look bigger. The opposition would be afraid of them. They'd score.
Well, that is one thing. But what do I say for every? What have I said for every set piece so far?
Put the big men forward.
That's the stuff.
Jonathan Harris, by the way, says Euro live streams would be class. Kip Mainson says he wasn't around for the World Cup, but he has watched them since, and something else would be class. Thank you, Kip. Thank you for going back and watching those.
There is a possibility that we might live streaming England games.
I think there's a non-zero chance of that happening. Also, you guys haven't seen us both watch England games, but there's just a lot of real aggression, pessimism, and silence.
Yeah. The only thing that might stop that is just from when the games are, but I'm sure we can work around it at some point. It might not be every game just because of work schedules and work patterns and whatnot. But I think that it's. What was I going to say something about the? I was going to say something about the European Championships, but it's kind of gone out of my mind again now because Lincoln come forward and have a chance to get an equaliser.
Don't like that. I don't want to hear about that.
The box.
I want nothing to do with that.
Cleared behind by Anthony Ford. Took the safety option. If he could have taken the ball down and brought it out of defence, but he wasn't to know there wasn't a guy behind him, and so he had to put it out for a corner. And Oxford have got to be resolute here and see this out.
About 4 minutes left, Ian.
87 minutes on the clock, so I imagine there'll be the customary 3 or 4 minutes of injury time. Sometimes it gets up to a minimum of 5.
It feels like a minimum of 5 right now.
But ball across. Lincoln do win the header, but it goes harmlessly wide, and Oxford breathe again.
Robert Allen says that if England get to the final of the Euros, we could live stream that. I don't think there's a bat chance in hell that if England make the final of the Euros, where they're not live streaming it, or there's the strong possibility pubs are open and I am battered drunk watching it. Just saying, I would need alcohol.
Would you? Do you want to be battered drunk watching it, though?
Yes, I would need alcohol for when they take the lead in the second minute and somehow blow it to lose 2-1 to a 37-year-old Croatian team.
I just think like you kind of you want to remember these things, don't you?
I wish I drank more during the Croatia game. Watching that with you and just like it descending into what it did, I was like, are we? Is this? Oh.
Well, I mean, it just was it. The trouble was, isn't it? That game, you just saw it. You saw it coming a mile away, didn't you? I mean, when we didn't get that second goal in the first half, England only go one way, which is into their shell, and you felt that Croatia eventually were going to get a couple of goals.
By the way, I've drunk the Kool-Aid. England are the greatest side on earth with the greatest stacking midfielders on earth. It's been incredible Euros for us.
We do have. I will say we have a hell of a lot of a better squad than we did. We have a much better squad than we did 4 years ago.
Oh my god!
Or 3 years ago.
Oh my god! They're so good now.
And if you look at like even defensively, when you've got two, I know you give Maguire a hard time, but we've got 2 centre backs in Maguire and Stones that are in amazing form as well.
Be chill, Pickles. Be chill. It'll be okay.
For their club sides. Quickly, sorry. When we get just because this one goes off, and I know this has completely gone off the rails this second half in terms of what we're talking about, but we haven't really done any videos over the past week, and I just wanted to get a quick hot take on Thomas's thoughts on 1, Man United going out in the Cup to Leicester, and 2, the decision not to play Bruno Fernandes in the aforementioned cup game.
Everyone strap in. We're going to be here for the next 4.5 hours. Let me just loosen up. I actually had no understanding of that. I don't understand why he plays every league game when you sacrificed the league something like 20 games ago when you were in first place. You went, well, we're not here to win it. We're just here to compete. And then I don't get it. I don't understand why he's not playing in these cup finals. I don't understand why Ollie's apparently hitting his goals by coming second in the league. Apparently, league finishes are all that matters. And Ian, remind me, what's the last club to operate like that? Because I think it was Arsenal. Wasn't it Arsenal that just said we just want to be in the Champions League every year, and then they failed miserably? The team that way, you need to win trophies, and you can see Granada being a really easy tie for Man United. But
wait, just quickly, Lincoln have the ball out wide, just about to get into Oxford's box. Chance to get the ball in. Good defending by Anthony Ford, but it is going to be a corner to Lincoln in the 91st minute of this game. But that was really good defending by Ford there to block the cross, and Oxford just need to stand up for another couple of minutes here, and we'll have a precious victory. But I imagine that there will be. Lincoln have brought their keeper up. Still 2 minutes to go in this game, and they brought their keeper up for this corner. Can Oxford get that chance to get it away? The keeper wins the header, goes over the bar, and I don't think Stevens will be in any hurry. Sorry, Thomas, I interrupted you.
It really annoyed me. Man United really annoyed me yet again. All the good that happens at Man United is in spite of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, not because of him. And not playing your best player in a quarterfinal of a trophy that's eminently winnable and you should be walking into the second round of is annoying. Also, Kit Mains.
Just to say on that corner as well, the goalkeeper had a free header on that on about 10 yards out. And unfortunately, he didn't really get off the ground, and he just looped it up off his head rather than if it would have fell to any other player. I'm sure they would have got a better.
I need to cover a couple of these things in because we're coming to the end, so only stop me if something happens. Simon Wilkinson, my baseball draft went really well. Thank you very much. And Robert Allen did a fantastic job. He now owns a 37% stake in the business. Kit Mainson, it is going to be tough. You're right. A lot of people will be out drinking, watching the game out. So doing a live stream, it may be questionable. We'll definitely think about it. Really glad they did not just concede.
If they get to the final.
Any game, really. Please, if you guys are enjoying this, please check out our Patreon. The lowest one is $3.99 a month. We really do appreciate the support. I know times are tough, but we really appreciate you guys being on here no matter what. We'd love chatting to you. We will be jumping off in a second, but let's really all just stop breathing until they win. Yes, you're right, Jonathan Harris. I have no fucking clue what Fred and Matic are doing out there. It fucks me off so much, and people don't like Scott McTominay. It doesn't make any fucking sense when Fred's out there and he can't he can't tackle and he can't pass the ball, and he's supposed to be a defensive midfielder. And if you breathe on him, he gets knocked out of position. It's so frustrating.
Right, this one's coming towards the end now. Some of you might already be over the line, but it looks like it's coming into the 93rd minute. It looks like we're going to hold on to this victory, which did not look like. There it is. There it is. There it is. Oxford are back in the winner's circle, folks. We certainly don't do things the easy way, do we? We had two poor performances in winnable games. In the harder games, we seem to turn up and play better. But look, regardless of that, wonderful victory. Well done to the Oxford players. Well done to Robbo. Thank you for joining us on this channel. We got a week. Finally, Oxford have a week now without a game, so they can go away and relax and get ready for that massive Sunderland game on Good Friday, and we will be here live streaming that one with you as well. That is it from me. Thanks again. I'm just throw it over to Thomas to wrap it up, and I'm sure he'll just echo my sentiments.
We're going streaking! That's what it ends on.